And now, 6 Sports presents the Dean Trailways 5th Quarter.
Hello and welcome into the Dean Trailways 5th Quarter. It is week 7 of the high school football season, and we're reaching the point in the year where conference titles are up for grabs. But nowhere was there more on the line than in Seattle, Washington tonight. Thanks for joining us. I'm Tyler Driesinga.
And I'm Kara Adams. Ian Desharian and Desharian are off tonight. And before we get to high school football, we've got to talk about the Tigers playing for their playoff lives. Detroit sent ace Tarek Skubal to the mound in a winner-take-all Game 5 against the Mariners.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we are unable to show highlights due to broadcast restrictions because the game is still in progress. The Tigers and Mariners are tied 2-2 in the 10th inning. It's the second time this series a game has gone to extra innings tied at 2. Tarek Skubal was simply brilliant, throwing 6 innings, allowing just 1 run, and striking out 13. The Tigers' runs came on a 2-run home run by Kerry Carpenter in the 6th inning. So 2-2 in the 10th right now. The Mariners led off the bottom of the inning with a double. What's a Tigers playoff game if it's not right down to the wire? So now let's get into the high school football action across the area. Tonight was the 60th meeting in the long-standing rivalry between Pewamo, Westphalia and Fowler. These two teams are separated by just 10 miles and were battling for the Milk Jug Trophy and a conference title.
And PW has the slight edge over Fowler, leading the all-time series 30-29. But last season, Fowler got the best of them, so Fowler was looking to keep the Milk Jug on their side in this back road brawl. And in a rivalry, anything can happen.
Absolutely.
So let's go to PW to see what went down. And it was a packed house in Pewamo, Westphalia, and all eyes were on the Milk Jug Trophy. So straight into the first quarter here, Trevor Spicer, he launches it to Levi Travis, who juggles it a little bit, but gives the Eagles the first down. Spicer, he's here once again. He launches it down the field, and Travis, he gets the catch on that one. What a grab, and he gives Fowler a big gain to move them into red zone territory. Spicer, he keeps it right here once again in this red zone territory, runs it in for a 4-yard touchdown, and Fowler, they strike first. But they decide to go for 2, but PW, they get a big stop, and Fowler leads 6-0. And of course, PW, they won't go away just yet. Right here, Ty Thalen, he launches it this time, and man, what a grab from Trent Piggott and to move them down into red zone territory. Thalen, quick handoff right here. Andrew Chris finds the gap and runs it in for a 35-yard touchdown to even things up. And the Pirates' extra point was good, and they took the 7-6 lead. It was everything you want in a rivalry game in these first 2 quarters. Just a couple minutes to go in the end of the first quarter. PW in the red zone territory again. Thalen keeps it. He ran it in for another Pirate touchdown. The extra point was good, and PW led 14-6 at the half. And the Pirates, they pulled away in the second half and reclaimed the Milk Jug Trophy with a 37-6 rivalry win.
Pewamo, Westphalia versus Fowler wasn't the only game with conference title implications, as there was a battle of unbeatens in the CAAC Blue.
Yeah, DeWitt and Grand Ledge are both 6-0, but Grand Ledge has played 1 more conference game than the Panthers, so the Comets could lock up at least a share of the league title tonight, while the Panthers couldn't clinch but could take 1 step closer to their 2nd straight league crown.
But DeWitt took away any drama in this battle of unbeatens. When our camera got there at halftime, it was already 42-0 Panthers. They pick up right where they left off in the 3rd. Grand Ledge's first offensive drive ends when Griffin Brayman comes up with an interception. That led to this field goal by Vince Rose on the ensuing drive. Rose is the kicker on the football team and the goalie on the soccer team. That left leg is a huge asset to both squads. In the 4th, Grand Ledge avoids the shutout when Austin Brown runs it in for a 5-yard touchdown, but outside of that, it was a long night for the Comets. We saw Brayman make the interception earlier. He was also playing quarterback with the 2nd unit, and he puts the exclamation point on this DeWitt victory with a nice, patient touchdown run. The Panthers top Grand Ledge 59-7. It's the third straight game Rob Zimmerman's Panthers have scored 58 or more points.
We've used a lot of tempo, and that's been a big thing for us. I mean, we're really difficult to line up to, and with the pace that we go at, it makes it difficult on teams to be able to adjust. So, I think just when you have weeks to continue to work, you're going to have an opportunity to improve, and we've done a good job of that.
Moving to East Lansing, the Trojans welcome Jaleel Canty's Lansing Everett squad to town. And just before halftime, Lansing Everett was down 6-0 until who other than Javari Funches. He sheds a couple tackles and breaks free and finds the end zone. Funches has just been so good for the Vikings this season, and he went 66 yards to the house to tie things up. But he would get hurt just before the half, and he did not play the rest of the game. East Lansing starts to pull away in the second half. Baylor Shansky plunges in for his third touchdown of the game, and the Trojans take a 21-6 lead late in the third quarter. Then in the fourth, Everett on the move, and a big hit by Grover Patterson causes a fumble, and George Washington recovers, and East Lansing defeats Lansing Everett 24-6 to improve to 2-5 on the season.
And we'll have more games with conference title implications after the break, including in Williamston.
Yeah, the Hornets were looking to finish an unbeaten run through the CAAC Red against Lansing Everett.
Plus, Hazlitt was looking to get back in the win column at St. John's after a tough loss to Williamston last week. Those highlights and more when the Dean Trailways fifth quarter returns.
Welcome back. One of the most dominant teams in the area this season has been Williamston. The undefeated Hornets were looking to win the outright conference title at home tonight.
Yeah, Kara, this is something they have not done since 2007 when they were in the CAAC White. Steve Kirsten's squad has outscored conference opponents 126-14 this fall, and they put this one away early tonight. It's already 28-0 in the first quarter. Lansing Eastern lines up to punt, but the snap sails out of the back of the end zone for a safety. Hornets take a 30-0 lead after the first. Early in the second, they continue to add on. Caleb Nielsen fires a pass over the middle. Nice catch by Drew Kirsten. Touchdown, Hornets. Next, Lansing Eastern possession. The Quakers are looking over the middle as well, but it's picked off by Tommy Pratt, and he's got 6 points on his mind. Look at him weave through would-be tacklers on his way to the end zone. A 60-yard pick six made it 44-0 Hornets. Williamston leaves no doubt, defeating Lansing Eastern 57-8 to claim the outright conference title.
Moving up to St. John's, the Red Wings welcomed Hazlitt to town, and both these teams were looking to get back in the win column after tough Week 6 losses. Hazlitt led 14-7 at the half. Right into the third quarter here, Charlie Dutcher launches it deep to James Well, and St. John's Alex Oberlin gets a hand in there. He breaks it up, and Ian Smith recovers it and gets the fumble, and the Red Wings have the ball. Now, St. John's went on nearly a 10-minute drive in the third quarter. This was 4th and 1 right here. They managed to get the first down to keep on driving down that field. Connor Kurtz, he's running and looking to find someone in the end zone, and he does. Finds Ian Smith and gets the Red Wings right back into this thing. But Hazlitt went on to block St. John's extra point, so Hazlitt led 14-13 heading into the fourth quarter. Hazlitt right here, they need something. Dutcher launches it, and who else other than Corey Amockery, who gets the grab and gives Hazlitt the 21-13 lead. The Vikings find themselves with the ball here again, but the Red Wings get a big old stop, and Hazlitt decides to take the field goal. But he goes up for the kick, and it's no good. So Hazlitt still leads 21-13. Just a couple minutes to go, and St. John's gets another shot at this. The Red Wings driving here. Kurtz, he completes a nice pass out wide to keep his team moving on down, trying to get into red zone territory. But it's 4th and 4 right here. Kurtz's pass is incomplete, and Hazlitt gets the stop. And man, they were fired up about that one. Dutcher right here takes the knee, and that does it. Hazlitt wins 21-13, and Brad Thompson was pretty pleased with his team's resiliency.
Something we preach all the time, right? Just continue to play, right? When you're on the road, especially in the CAAC Red, like, things are not going to be easy. The conference is too good, and we saw a lot of adversity in the second half. Some self-inflicted, some they did a great job by them, but our guys continue to fight, scrap, and battle. There's no panic in our squad, and our special teams were just incredible tonight.
In the CAAC White, Portland continues to roll. The Raiders haven't lost a regular season game since September of 2022, and with a 54-6 win tonight over Eaton Rapids, they've guaranteed themselves a share of another conference title.
Yeah, they've won every conference game by at least 35 points. The Raiders can win the league outright with a win over Charlotte next week.
All right, let's head to rivalry night down in Jackson. Parma Western hosting Jackson Northwest. Both teams heavily relied on the ground game in this one. Second quarter, Panthers running back Brody Parrott takes the handoff, slices through the defense for a 56-yard touchdown, making it 7-6 Parma Western. Very next possession, the Mounties fumble, setting up a Panthers field goal that gave Parma Western a 10-6 lead at the half. Third quarter, the Panthers pick up where they left off. Jaden Willis is in for the first of his 3 scores in this game, making it 17-6 Panthers. The Mounties would close the gap, but Parma Western wins a nail-biter 32-28.
Well, that's a wrap on another great week of high school football, but we'll put things on ice after the break.
Yeah, MSU hockey was looking to bounce back after a stunning opening night setback against New Hampshire.
And over at the Breslin Center, MSU volleyball was aiming to improve to 7-0 at home this season against Iowa. So don't go away yet. The Dean Trailways 5th quarter will be right back.